All right. Tomorrow night, we're going to another pumpkin patch. I think I mentioned that.
Aw.
I'm having the greatest time over here staying with my son in Grand Junction.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful.
hello everyone. Good evening. Good evening. And um, we're kind of changing up this group on Thursday evenings and kind of trying to find a path. I think something that we've been doing that's been really helpful to me is looking at some teachers uh, and their methods, the things that they are using. Like last week, we looked at Carl Jung, we looked at Bruce Lipton. Tonight, I have a recording by Michael Singer, and I don't know how many of you all are aware of Michael Singer or have read his books, The Untethered Soul,
Mhm.
uh, the Surrender Experiment, uh, just unbelievably awake person, and so led by the Spirit. And that has anybody read any of those books or know of Mickey Singer? Okay, good. The Surrender Experiment. That to me, I mean, that hit home to me so much because it was all about him just saying, whatever it is, yes. Whatever it is, I'll do it. And he just and his life, the things that happened in his life that were just so phenomenal. He I think it was WebMD that he set up. That whole thing. He had that entire huge medical uh, information system on the internet, and one of his employees did some backhanded thing and ended up getting the federal government involved. Like there was some kind of fraud going on, and he went through lawsuits and just all this stuff happened. Just amazing. And every single time, he just said, "Okay, whatever it is, we'll work through it. I'll do it. Whatever it is, I don't care. Just surrender, surrender, surrender." And just such an awake and aware person. And so I found this little video of him. I listen to him a lot. If you listen to ACIM Gather Radio, you're probably going to hear Mickey Singer like at least once or twice a day, because they put out new podcasts almost every day. But it's of other. I think I don't know if he's doing them live. Some of them, I think he does. But anyway, it's just fabulous to listen to this man who has lived his life completely surrendered and uh, has the most amazing stories. Oh, and hang on, that's my son calling. Uh, I'm just going to mute my mic for a second and answer. You guys can talk to each other for a minute.
Missed you, Deb, at the meeting. Yeah, I missed you.
There was a lesson in Michael Singer's book, The Untethered Soul, about carrying a thorn around with you. And I had a perfect example of that yesterday. That my releasing partner called and he had had a terrible argument with his wife. And we started releasing together, it turned out that it goes back to the fact that when he was an infant, he was uh, abandoned and adopted by a couple. His mother abandoned him. And that sense of abandonment gave him the idea that he was unworthy. And he's been defending that ever since. The argument with his wife had nothing to do with, of course, it's never about what you think it is. It's so, uh, and it went back to that thing about that thing. And he had this terrible fight with his wife over the phone. And when we questioned when I talked to him about it, and we started releasing together, and I started asking him questions, that popped out. So it goes all the way back to infancy, and he thought it was about something that was going on currently, and it had nothing to do with what was going on currently. And in fact, he couldn't even remember what the argument was about. All he knows is that, and then, so I said after that, I said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to call my wife and apologize. Tell her how much I love her. Because he finally discovered what the hell the source of this all was. But when Brooklyn was talking about the incident she had with whatever was going on with him, went back, who knows how far back that goes? Had nothing to do with what's going on now.
Absolutely.
Carrying that thorn around. Michael
But
Singh.
And you wish you can take it away from the person, but
No,
you
they got to
can't.
release it themselves.
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, yeah, that's a great that is actually a great story because that's a lot of the work that we do. We don't even know why we get upset and excited about things. But if we did know why, if we were aware of our own thinking, how and why we got to where we are, what happened, and recognize that we didn't have anything to do with it. It was not a reflection on us, who are our worth, our value, nothing. It was, maybe a parent that was just being unthinking, or the world itself. So many things happen. That's why the work with Diedrich Wilsock and well, of course, now I know it's Sandy Levy, her work uh, that goes back to, where were you when you first had that thought, that feeling? Where were you and what was happening? And when you can go back and look and see that this is something that happened when I was, 6 months old, or 2 years old, or whatever, that I developed a thought about myself that was not true. And so yeah, I love that. All right,
Yeah. In
okay, go
his
ahead.
in his case, his mother was doing what she thought was best for the child. She had to give up her child. Can you imagine that? And because she thought it was in his best interest. As a child, he interpreted it as I'm not worthy and she's giving me up. Okay? Beep.
Yeah, yeah, and it's heartbreak on both sides. Uh, and if only we knew. That's why this is so beautiful. Like our lessons that I won't think about my brother's past today. I'm not gonna look at what is happening now, and blame them for being and thinking the way they are and the way they think, because this thing from Mickey Singer is going to help. I think explain this too. We're programmed from the beginning. That's what that Bruce Lipton thing the other day was. I mean, it's all about how we're programmed from the very beginning, and our job is to become programmed so that we can live in the world. From the infancy, your whole job is to become programmed so that you fit in and can do things in the world. So, it's not like something that was thrust upon us. We have to do it in order to survive. But the whole thing being that every single one of those thoughts and ideas are arbitrary. They have no real meaning. They're just thoughts. And we take it as gospel. Yeah, God's up in heaven looking at me, watching what I do, listening to what I say. He's going to throw me in hell. That's those are things that you take up and believe, because if you don't, you're not going to survive in your culture. People are going to reject you if you reject or go against what they see as normal. So it's a lot of uh, both both sides, and the whole point is to come to a point where I can look at my own thinking and make the decision as to what I really want to think and what I want to see and believe. I can do that myself, and I don't have to believe anything the world ever told me. And in fact, I don't believe anything the world ever told me because it's all bullshit. Karen, yeah, please go ahead.
Thanks, Lynn. I love that. Reminds me in the This Need Not Be, where he says, you are deprived of nothing except by your own decisions and then decide otherwise. So it's just like choose again. But I wanted to ask Rafi, Do you know if this person tried, I mean, and now it's probably too late. I guess I don't know how old this person is, but did he ever try to find his birth mother?
I don't know. We never got to that, and he's in his early 60s.
Yeah,
I saw if I'm guessing if his mother's still around and she's somewhere in her 80s,
yeah,
or she may have passed by now,
yeah,
left the body by now. But we never got to that. The point was to get to the horror that he was carrying around and releasing it, because we were in a releasing session, and to get to the non-loving feelings and get to clarity so he could be at peace with it and settle that issue with his wife, which of course had nothing to do with what he thought it had to do with, and how he got to it is his wife is in the releasing community and turned him on to it, and he got it. So he's relatively new to it, and I've been at it for ages. And He contacted me and asked me if I would be his releasing partner, and I said, yes, of course. And the first few sessions, we're digging into stuff that he's been carrying around for a long time, and we're able to bring it up and let it go, so he could have some clarity and some peace on about it. Because you carry around these non-loving feelings, and they just keep repeating. The mind is a machine. It's just a
yeah.
recording and playback machine. It just keeps repeating the same crap over and over and over again mechanically. It's not doing it on purpose. It doesn't know any better. And and if you identify with it, then you're the one that suffers. And he was identifying with it and didn't even realize it. So when he was able to pull back and take a look at it from a witnessing point of view, things got a lot easier, and it was a lot easier for him to let go of the hate and the anger and the fear and the idea that he was unworthy.
That's fantastic. He was able to do that in one session.
Well, we released for about a half hour. I'm expecting he'll call me again today. I'm hoping we can work every day,
Yeah,
because
that's great.
then you build some momentum. And I'm hoping that he tunes into some of the group things that the release technique does, or like here, Course in Miracles. Because I was just listening to a recording of Lester Levinson saying how important it was to be in situations like this, where you are people who are on, or people who their consciousness is on the same level, because that strengthens each of us individually and strengthens the reality of our oneness.
Thank you, Rafi.
Yeah, and that is absolutely true. I think, that the joining together on a regular basis, and what I think that's so wonderful about this group is it is small enough that we all know each other. And when someone new comes like Nanette, we can get to know, and we get to know each other. I mean, look, there's several people that like call each other every other day. We send messages to each other. There's a lot of communication that comes about when you have a group that's like this. So I appreciate it so much, that this daily communion with you all. Just wow, what a gift that is. Um,
It's divine love communicating with divine love,
right.
regardless of what the pictures look like.
That's right, exactly.
Thank
So,
you very much.
Nanette, since I haven't really spoken, and we haven't really spoken before, uh, how did you find us, or how did you come to this group?
I've been here several times before.
Well, I know you have, but we
Oh,
haven't really.
okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
we.
normally during this time is there's other things going on, and so there just happened to be an o open gateway, and I've known about ACIM Gather for a long time. I have it, in my little file, and I see what goes on, and I get when I'm led to go. And tonight, just was led to be here, but I've been involved with, here's my buddy. Um, hey, Rico in the house. Uh, I've been involved, shall I say, the course has been involved with me for 33 years. So, and pretty, shall I say, it's been a path of deep embracing of grace and a deep interior transformation. And I loved what was being shared that we're never upset. I'm never upset for the reason I think. And when I open to the power of the Holy Spirit will, when I don't get up off the operating table, Holy Spirit, what is this for? And it'll point to something that is a forgiveness lesson from Lord knows how far back. And in my case, I've had to go back to the womb. And so I've gone through rebirthing and releasing and all of that. So I love the course, and it's just an incredible journey of great, 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 great inner peace always. Yeah. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. It's good to hear your voice, and I'm grateful that you were willing to speak up, and you're welcome to share anytime, and especially when we're having these discussions about things, because what you share, you also receive. So it works out for us. And I should have known that Rico was your Pied Piper. He is a man with a plan. I'll tell you what, I'm so grateful for you. Uh, so tonight I'm gonna play this little Mickey Singer talk. It's 21 minutes, so it's not real long, but definitely I think representative of what he teaches, and very I think really helpful in just the regular um, daily operation. Share, and
if you fight with your mind, you lose. You cannot fight with your mind. Will not solve this problem. The best you can do in battling with your mind is suppress. And suppression does not work. The energies that you suppress just mull around underneath and jump up and get you later, right? There's no benefit to suppressing. Therefore, there is no benefit to fighting your mind. None. That is not how you solve your issue with your mind. You start to look at mind eventually when you get clear enough, and you realize, mind is like weather. Sometimes it's stormy, sometimes it's balmy, sometimes it's drizzling, and sometimes it's pouring. And there are even tornadoes. Just as the weather has a cause behind everything it does, the mind has a cause behind everything it does. You just have to be wise enough to realize what you're looking at as mind, all this talking and judgment and changes and arguments and different stuff going on in there, that's just the surface. That's the end result of the forces that are causing the mind to be. If you want to have a deep, meaningful life and really grow very deeply spiritually very quickly, you have to go to the root of the mind. You have to go to the root to find out, why is the mind doing what it's doing? That journey is your entire spiritual journey. Once you've solved the mind, it's over. You'll see. It just happens by itself. Everything opens up inside. The mind is the anchor that is binding the soul to this situation. So you watch and you try to see, why does the mind say what it says when it says it? Why does it do what it does? Why does it like some things and not other things? And why does it keep changing its mind? What is going on? What are the forces there? And you look deep, and what you will see, in truth, behind all of mind, is that you care about the outcome. You care about what's going to happen. So that if you're going on a date with somebody, you care about whether they like you or not. I mean, it sounds trite. See, truth always sounds trite. Why? Because it's the truth. You care about what happens in the different situations you interact with each day. If you're going to work, you care if you get the raise. You care if you succeed. You care if somebody else does better than you do. You care if you get recognized. You care if you get yelled at. You care about every single thing that takes place. You have a way you want it to be, and you care if it turns out that way. That is why your mind is so active. If you will watch your mind, it's doing the following. It's telling you how you want it to be. It's telling you how to get it that way. It's worrying about whether it will be that way. It's judging who's on your side, who's not, what forces are helping you, what forces are going to hurt you. It's plotting and planning what to say, what not to say, judging you because you said something stupid. It's just in there constantly talking about what? How it wants to be and whether it's going to be that way because I care about the outcome. It's all about caring about the outcome. Even in the past, I wanted it to be that way, but that was 5 years ago. The outcome, like it just keeps mattering, and the mind just keeps talking about it. So that's one way to look at about the mind. Let's say you really don't want something to happen. Do you notice that your mind cares whether it happens or not? What if I challenge that? What if I stop this intuitively obvious thing and just say, why? You will catch on one day that as long as you care about the outcome, your mind will never stop. You will have continuous problems. It will keep telling you what to do. It will fight with you all the time. And you will worry about every single thing that's going on. If I go out on a date with you and I care whether you like me or not, then I have to worry about whether you go out on a date with somebody else tomorrow. Then I have to worry about whether you called somebody up. Should I call them and check to see what you... Come on, you all been there in high school. Check to see what they said about you. It all becomes very complicated, doesn't it? You ever been there? What is that? The root of that is what you need to look at. The root of that is that you care about the outcome of that date. It was not just a date. It wasn't just, let's go out, spend some hours together, and then I'll take you home and I'll go home. Wasn't that fun? That's not what it was. It was, I care about the outcome, not the event. That's the problem. I don't care about the hours we spent together. I care about what you're thinking after you leave. I care about what you're going to tell other people. I care about feeling rejected. I feel about being accepted. I feel about looking... It's not about the simple event that took place, which was two people spending a few hours together. So we never talk like this, do we? It's like it's so natural to be the other way that nobody even discusses what is truly natural and common, which is things are what they are, and here they are, and enjoy them and experience them when they're happening, and then deal with the next thing. And if you do that, the mind will stop bothering you. It's that simple. But you're not going to be able to do that until you understand what's really going on. So the first is you have to see the mind's cause of every problem you have. Then you have to see that that's because the mind has preconceived notions about everything should be and it really cares about them. So now you have to question, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Why am I making up what I want and what I don't want with my mind instead of experiencing life? Why? Why can we not just accept reality, enjoy it, deal with it, interact with it, and keep going about our business of living our life? And why do we care so much about how we want things to be? And then we care about the outcomes and all that. And what you'll see when you look deeply, very deeply now, it all comes down to one point, is you'll start seeing, I'm not okay. That's probably the deepest realization and the most honest thing you will ever come to see. You have to look within yourself and see, I'm not okay. That's why I'm doing all this stuff. I'm not okay. That's why I asked you out on a date. And because I'm not okay, and that's why I asked you out on the date, I need something. I want something. I didn't really just want to go out with you. I wanted to be okay. That's what I wanted. And I thought that by going out with you, it would make me okay. But obviously the few hours we spent together didn't make me okay. By definition, I'm still not okay, right? So now I have to find out, do you want to go out again? That'll make me a little bit better. Or what are you telling other people? I got to worry about all the rest because I'm really using everybody and everything to try and be okay. Terrible thing to say, isn't it? You better say it. It's that simple. And that's what's underneath all of it. That's what's underneath all the mind is trying to figure out how to manipulate and control everything to be okay. Does my breath smell? Do I look good? Is my shirt tucked in right? In other words, how do I be okay? How do I be okay? How do I be okay? That's all it's saying all the time. It's just speaking in different languages. The language of relationship, the language of money, the language of possessions, the language of fear, the language of everything. Either you're trying to get things to be okay, or you're trying to avoid things that you think will make you worse. Who sees that? The reason I care about the outcome of anything, I don't care. I go to get a job, I get the job. And, I get the raise, I get the raise. I don't get the raise, I don't get the raise. People are happy with my work, they're happy with my work. They're not happy with my work, they're not happy with my work. What can I do? I'm doing the best I can. Here, coach. I'll play the best I can. Right? Am I good enough? Am I good enough? It's that simple. Right? It felt good. We all tried. No, that's not what it's about. It's I'm not okay. Maybe I can play sports well enough to impress everybody and then I'll be okay. So then it's not okay if you sit on the bench, is it? It drives you crazy to sit on a bench and you're embarrassed. It's just a terrible thing. You don't want anybody to see you. It's like it has the opposite effect of everything you were looking for. That's why all this disturbance and difficulty is taking place. Because you're not coming to grips with the fact that it's not okay in there. It's not. Net is a spiritual person at some point takes this journey seriously and looks inside and says, I'm not okay. And the world owes me nothing. Why would the world owe me anything? There's no way that this world is here to fix my problem. That is not why either evolution or God created the heavens and earth. If it was total random events that all came together from the beginning of the Big Bang and they just evolved themselves all the way out with survival of the fittest, they didn't do it for you. And if in 6 days, 7 days, whatever it is, God created the heavens and earth and just made the whole thing and the flood happened and Noah did his thing and all that took place, it wasn't for you. It was not so that when you have a problem, she shows up, right? And everything's just that way. It's like, it's not here for you. You're sitting inside, you're not okay, and you're in a world that really has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the forces of nature. It has to do with the laws of cause and effect. It's just like the weather. So you stop thinking it owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. The world is not the solution to your problem. Other people are not the solution to your problem. They're not the cause of your problem. They're outside, you're inside. You're trying to make them the solution to your problem. You're trying to say, I'm not okay, fix it. I'm not okay, get this way so that I feel okay. Everybody, listen up. Woo! Here's the program. This is what will make me okay. Get with it. Do it. You say it to everybody, one way or another. You stop doing that. And you sit there and say, I'm not okay. That's an inner problem. It has to have an inner solution. The outside is not the problem, therefore the outside cannot be the solution. The best it can do is be a Band-Aid put on top of it, and then you have to struggle to keep it that way. And you just finally get to the point of waking up and saying, I don't want to do that. I don't want to bother everybody else. I don't want to butt my head against every single thing in this world, because I got my preconceived notion of how it should be. I want to fix my problem, and that problem's inside. But I'm telling you, you must go through the stage of realizing that your solution is not outside. And they never said it was, and nobody owes you anything. If you're not okay inside, get to work. You have work to do. You're supposed to be okay inside. It's supposed to be wonderful in there. You're supposed to be happy and filled with love for no reason. No matter what anyone does, no matter what happens to you, no matter what takes place, and I mean literally no matter. You're filled with love, filled with peace, and filled with joy, and you couldn't care less. Every moment you do the best you can with everything you do, and you couldn't care less what happens. That's yoga. That's the essence of all spirituality. So when you do that, then you look outside and you say, this world owes me nothing. I think it's a beautiful stage. The world owes me nothing. I have no right to demand anything of anybody. If I'm not okay, it is a problem inside of me and I'm going to work on it. And I'm not going to bother anybody else with it. Anybody. I'm here to enjoy and experience and express and serve, not take. And as long as I'm not okay, I'm taking. Unless I'm working with myself. So now you're in a good position. You are now at the root of mind. Because what you're going to see every single time is that the reason your mind talks is just trying to solve that problem. And eventually when you get clear enough and you can sit with your problem, that's what clear means, is I see I'm not okay, and that's okay. It's okay that I'm not okay. I'm not freaking out. It's okay. I went on a date with her, and I kind of had some stuff going, I see it, and she then went out with somebody else, and I'm freaking out. It's funny. Look at that thing in there. It's nuts. Well, I ain't bothering her, and I ain't bothering him, and I ain't even bothering me. It's just, I knew there was a part that wasn't okay, and there it is, being not okay. That's your starting position. You have to be willing to look the enemy in the eyes, to just look right at it and see it without trying to solve it and without freaking out. Until you can do that, it's going to run you. Because the moment it starts to not be okay, you're going to be out there doing what it wants you to do. And you'll see at that point that when you have something that's not okay inside, your mind starts a mile a minute. And what you learn to do is not listen to it. You don't fight it. You don't try to be okay. You just notice this pattern that there's a part that's not okay and the mind is talking. Oh my goodness. And the more it's not okay, the more the sucker talks. You're trying to use things to be okay. When you cease to do that, your whole relationship with your mind changes. You have to be comfortable with the fact that there's something inside you that's not okay. Feels insecurity, feels fear, whatever the heck it is. and you learn to sit with it. Now, once you can sit with it, then something very great happens. You look at it, you sit there and say, no, why would I not be okay? You know, I'm sitting on a planet, spinning in the middle of nowheres. It really doesn't make any difference what happens. I'm going to die pretty soon. Certainly, I don't care what age you are, it's pretty soon in relationship to the 5 billion years that the Earth is, all right? It's just a blink of an eye, and you're just one of these billions and trillions that have passed through. So you sit with it, and you say to yourself one day, I don't care what happens. I'm going to do the best I can at everything. Every relationship, every interaction, every work I do, everything I do, and do the best I can, and I don't care what happens. Wait till you see what that does to your thought patterns. Because it cuts them off. It undercuts the entire reason that your mind is so active. You have this opportunity to jam and do an audition before somebody with some music. Okay, you want to do it? Sure. Are you scared? No. Why would you be scared? You don't care what happens. You're only scared because you care about the outcome. You're not scared to play your instrument. You play your instrument all the time. You play before all kinds of people. Why would you be scared to play before this person? Because you care if the person likes what you're doing, because you care that you get the gig, because you care that something happens. No, that's no good. You went the wrong way the entire way. You do the best you can because of the joy of doing the best you can. And you literally do not care about the outcome. If the person thinks you're the best musician ever walked the face of the earth and they want you to cut records, then I guess you'll cut records. If the person thinks, God, you're good for the kids and, keep doing it. Knock yourself out. And say, thank you. It was fun. I had a fun day. What'd you do today? I went on an audition. What'd you do today? I started a career. What's the difference? You're going to die soon. You hear me? The question is, are you enjoying the experience of your life? If you enjoyed going to the audition and that was fun, you enjoyed doing the best you could, and you just enjoy whatever happened, then the answer is yes, I enjoy it. If you only enjoy it if the person says it's not enough that he says, all right, we want you to record. I want the best contract, and I want to be treated as the best one that you ever had, or I'm disappointed. You could do that, couldn't you? Mine wouldn't have any trouble doing that, would it? It's like, don't you see the thing is ruining your life? This is how you undercut it. It's so busy caring, and you sit there and say, I don't, I'm indifferent. That's your mantra. I'm indifferent. Now notice, I said you do the best you can. It's not like lazy. It's not like I don't care, I'm not going to do anything. No way, that doesn't work. You do the best you can, and you let go of any part of you that cares about the outcome. And what you're going to see is the party that's not okay, that's scared, and nervous, and self-conscious, and all that kind of junk, is going to start to fall away. Because it has nothing to lose and nothing to gain. Therefore, the events that it used to get all freaked out about and nervous about and so on, don't bother anymore. Because it didn't set a preconceived notion about what it wanted to happen. When it said, okay, I'm going to go to the audition, well, what do I want? You just say, I'm indifferent to yourself. I'm indifferent. It doesn't matter. I win either way. It's just the fun of doing it. But you say, but it's not true because my heart really, I don't care. I'm serious. If you start owning and giving in to the party that's not okay, then you'll be the party that's not okay. You have to start dealing with a deeper part of yourself. A part that says, I'm sitting on a planet, spinning around in the middle of nowheres, and I'm going to die. And the question is not whether I'm going to sit on the planet. I am going to sit on the planet. And the question is not whether I'm going to die. I am going to die. The question is, am I enjoying the journey? Not am I going to become, a gold artist. Not am I going to become rich. No, am I enjoying the journey? Not am I going to get married. Not am I going to have children. Nope, 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 nope. Am I enjoying the journey? That's the question. You were given this life on this planet and you're going to die, and you're a fool if you are not enjoying every single moment of the experience. How do you enjoy every single moment of the experience? Somebody will look at you, you're crazy. You can't enjoy every moment of the experience. Sometimes things will go your way and sometimes they won't. Wrong. Not if you don't have a way. If you don't have a way, if your way is the way, the Tao, if your way is the way, then your way is, I do the best that I can every single moment for the joy of doing the best that I can, and that is the end of it. That's the beginning and end of the entire thing. I have no preconceived notions about the outcomes, nothing. I have no regrets about the past. I have no fears or hopes about the future. I am totally and completely enjoying and fulfilled with doing the best I can in the moment. Now all of a sudden the mind has nothing to say. And because the mind has nothing to say, and because you haven't built all these notions, you're not scared anymore. Imagine not being scared. Well, that'd be a novelty, wouldn't it? And you also don't need anything. Why would you need anything? Sweep the floor. Yeah, okay. Go run the country. Okay. Doesn't matter. Same. You just do the best you can with whatever's before you, and you have the equal amount of joy as anybody could have with anything. There is no winning, there's no losing, there's no better, there's no worse. There's just the joy of doing the best you can with whatever it is. And then if there are parts of you that can't do that, those are the parts that are not okay. You let them go. You just keep doing the best you can, and you let go any part of you that can't get with the program. You just relax and release. And it will fall off. I guarantee you it will fall off. If you don't feed it, it cannot stay. And your mind will start to get quieter and quieter and quieter. When you don't use your mind to try to figure out how to be okay, it ain't got nothing to say. It's just amazing. Like, literally, you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, well, I don't know, I think you might have cancer. I'm sorry to tell you, but you might. I'm not sure yet. And it will take 3 months to figure it out. I want that when you walk away from that doctor, you never think about it again until you go in there in 3 months and he tells you whether you got it or not. Because there is no benefit to drive yourself crazy for 3 months. I want you to enjoy those 3 months as much or more than you've ever enjoyed any other 3 months that could ever. In fact, it's the only rational thing to do. If you don't have cancer and you went to the bother of bothering yourself for 3 months and being a neurotic mess and doing all that stuff when in truth you didn't have it, then was that smart? No. If you do have cancer and 3 months later you find you have cancer, you probably wish that you had used those last 3 months more meaningfully than being all upset and worrying about whether you have cancer. That little example I just gave you about cancer is about everything. The only rational thing to do is to enjoy what you're doing. Why? Because it's what you're doing. Everything else is either worrying about the past, which is dead, or getting involved with thinking about the future and worrying about the future, which hasn't happened yet. There is no joy in that. There is nothing. And so eventually you just catch on. That is your relationship with your mind. You say to your mind, you are no longer employed to solve my problem of not being okay. And the moment you start hearing your mind talking, you just don't listen to it. And if you don't, it'll stop. And then your life is very simple. You do the best you can at whatever you're doing. And you say, but what will happen? Life will happen to you. And you'll do the best you can with it. Can you see that? The beauty of that. Just do the best you can with whatever life does. If you're playing golf and you hit in the rough, be the best hit out of the rough player. Don't sit there and say, it didn't land on the fairway, so I can't enjoy my round of golf. Every single part of it is fun. You just be the best at whatever it is. And you just do the best you can from wherever that is. Eventually you will catch on to the joy of that. It means nothing can ever go wrong. It means you can never have a problem. It means no one can disappoint you. No one can do anything. It's just beautiful all the time. And your mind doesn't have to think or talk. It went on a vacation. It's unemployed. And so you have all this Shakti. Imagine how much energy your mind wastes. That's yours now. That's all the stuff your mind was wasting, spinning its wheels and going crazy. All the Shakti naturally starts to center inside of you when you do this. So the path is not complicated, is it? It's so simple. And it happens to be the depth of all the deep teachings. Summary: do the best that you can at whatever you're doing. Don't judge what you're doing, and don't judge how you did. Just know, if you knew you did the best that you can, what right do you have to judge anything? You did the best that you can, and you let the rest go. All right? Your mind will stop. You will enjoy your life. You will be a blessing to everyone around you. How would you not be? Imagine interacting with somebody who did the best they can and they didn't ask for anything back. We call them saints. This is how simple it is. Instead of the complete, crazy complexity that the mind creates. Work with these things, see what happens.
All right. Well, that was pretty damn good. Excuse me, that's the second time I've heard that. That was very good, in my opinion. So, what do you guys think?
What was the name of that video, Lynn?
What's that?
What was the name of that video?
I'm going to post the link in the chat here. It's Michael Singer, and it is "Stop Fighting Your Mind and Do This Instead." Uh, um, he's very practical. I really appreciate his thinking. There we go. Post in the room. So yeah, go ahead, Rafi. I knew it would ring a bell with you.
Well, it's interesting how he just validates for instance, in releasing, it's always about letting go of your attachment to the outcome of anything. Just allowing, I mean, completely hootless about how it's going to turn out. Be nice if it turned out this way. If it nice if it turned out that way. Let's just see what happens. And you get to Eckhart Tolle. It's about being in the now and the now and the now and the now. Okay, there is no past. There is no future. Those are just thoughts. Um, and repeating them over and over again is just suffering. When he said the part about not wanting anything, well, you get to the point where, listen, I don't want anything, I don't need anything, I don't lack anything. You don't. We are the all. What's missing? Only what you think is what's missing, and that causes the desire, and desire is the root of suffering. So he validated just perfectly. He validated all of that, and it was just so great to listen to it and say, "Yep, yep, 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 yep. There it is again. There it is again. There's the truth again." Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Rafi. Yeah, I love it, uh, the thing I love, probably the most helpful thing to me is this not being concerned about the outcome of things, to actually just accept whatever happens and just recognize, well, here's this is the life I'm here to live. Of course, Course in Miracles, we have thoughts about why we're here and what we're doing here and everything, but the whole idea of uh, trying to just be okay, just recognizing that that's the reason I'm doing almost everything I do, is because I want to have that feeling of peace, of being enough, of being okay. Um, and that's the thing that the ego is just constantly pulling the rug out from under you. And you have to just get used to just tumbling, tumbling when they do. So, Deb, yeah, please go ahead.
Thanks everyone for being here, and thanks for the video. In 2010, I read The Untethered Soul, and he explains it so well, like the voice in the head that asks a question and another voice that answers, and I am the one listening. Like, it really is not me doing that thinking. I read this, The Untethered Soul, was it sort of at the beginning of, and what do we call the spiritual journey? Mine started like when I was 1 or 0, or as someone else said, in the birth. And for some of us, we come in with past life remembrances. And so the whole life to me is evolving in this spiritual journey. But in 2010, when I read the book and I started to recognize that mind not really being me, what I think of as I am is the one in heaven with God who's never left heaven. And that is the love that we all are. And I know there's no we there. It's all light is what I imagine at this point. But the book helped me stop smoking, because he described, like, it isn't, I hardly smoked, but it isn't all about the body's craving and all the chemical stuff. It's about the mind being settled for a few moments, that it knows what it's doing. Because basically we're in an existential crisis that we don't know what we're doing. And in the mind, in our minds, in our ego mind, we don't know what we're doing. And I've reflected on how many times did I say, just let me smoke this and then we'll go, just let me have this. Like, setting those times a day where you sit down and you know what you're doing is smoking, right? which is where the relief came in. And so some of this spiritual drive for me, or wanting to awaken, or wanting to be one with God, or know God, was that settling to that okay place where there's no problem, where there's nothing I have to figure out. I don't have to know what I'm doing. I am just light. And I can see that now, but all those years ago, it was that book that helped. And over this course of time, many other habits have fallen away. So much of daily behavior, thinking I have to do this, I have to do this, I need to do this, is just settling the minds. Like he said, that unsettled feeling that I'm not okay unless I remember to do this. I have found that almost all of it, I can let go. I don't have to do any of it. I like stopped taking allergy medicine after 20 years, and I don't see any difference than before or after. Like, I'm clear. I haven't even had a cold like in 5 years. And it's just the way it is. I know that I missed this morning because I'm getting checked out medically, and it's like Mickey says, I don't know what the results are going to be. I was a little surprised what they're going to be checking for, but it's just because of all the insurance changes that I figure I might as well find out now. and and the goal is you have a clean bill of health. Don't worry, honey. Because my egoic, whatever worry and stress still sometimes gets in there, I haven't completely let go of. And yet I know no matter what is going on in the body, I am all right. I am okay. I am in love with God. I am in love with all of you. You know? Anyway, peace.
Thank you, Deb. That's beautiful. And I appreciate that as well because yeah, we're all here on this journey together. And so whatever happens, you know, that's where I come into. I do not care. I've really come to the place where I recognize that there's nothing, I have no investment in any part of anything. I just can be happy here. And I am just generally very happy. There's not really anything that makes me unhappy, which is huge for me, huge. Brooklyn, yes, please go ahead.
Namaste, mighty companions. Oh, thank you so much for showing that one. I love it. I love to hear the truth. Even Bashar says, follow your joy. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. We're walking each other home. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Brooklyn. Yeah, and the enjoyment, honestly, I don't want to go into any great detail here, but just in general, the reason that we keep, I believe that we keep coming back and going for experience after experience is because we're not actually experiencing what we're experiencing. We're not paying attention to, you know, I mean, just if you totally paid attention to everything that was happening right now, you wouldn't need any more experiences because you would be full on in this experience, right? So that's what, you know, enjoy what you're doing because this is what I'm here for. I'm here to live in love. So Nanette, please go ahead.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, family, for sharing, and thank you for sharing that incredible. I love Michael Singer. I've deep dived into his work over many, many, many years, and it's so beautiful how the spirit, 8 billion avatars and only one of us here, and spirit playing each of these body temples in different ways and coming through the vocal cords and in different ways, and he's got a way that just comes through, and he really explained what happens when you're caught in duality. He just said it in a very practical language, and for everyone to understand, because as we move on, language can change, and that can even get a little, confusing. But it's interesting because he was also talking about the root, which I've heard it said, the root of the whole world is the addiction of codependence. And he was really just basically describing that at the core level. Oh, I'm going to be okay if this happens and that happens, and I'm just not okay. And the real deal is when I really truly embrace, hey, I don't think I'm okay. And then the next thing, and through the course and non-dual practices, um, who is the I that thinks it's not okay? And then there's an awakening that that's not me and it never was me. So it's always, non-duality, not two. So I look at what I'm not, so what I am becomes available. And I forgive when something comes up on the screen, these phenomenons that come up in this physical, anything in this physical universe, anything is just a phenomenon. It's transitory. None of it is eternal. None of it. And so the stillness and that's the beauty of the course, is moving in the frequency of energy, moving us to be the stillness, be the prayer, be the meditation. And if I fall asleep in cookie dreams, there's forgiveness as the tool. And then eventually forgiveness isn't needed because I'm no longer condemning anything. And it's a process, and it's just absolutely, it's just, I have so much gratitude, and talk about enjoying. I've had some physical things go on, and I was resting in meditation, and it was like I'm just enjoying everything as it is, and then the body's no longer in discomfort. It almost becomes it's like a it's just a phenomenon. It was just it was really cool. It was almost like that. Yeah, here we are. Here I am. Here's peace. I am that. I am that. There's nothing really to seek. So thank you, family. Thank you for having me.
That's beautiful. Wow. Oh my gosh, thank you for speaking up. I love to hear your process, and I love, yes, very, very clear. So thank you, Nanette. Let's see who is up next. Rafi, then Rico, then Brooklyn. Go ahead, Rafi.
Well, it's interesting that he brought up the part about enjoying, because if I'm doing what I enjoy, it's coming from a place of love. So if I'm enjoying it, it's actually making a contribution. The things I used to enjoy that I thought I needed to make me happy don't exist anymore. I was an incessant pot smoker for decades until I got into releasing. And I was releasing, and got into the joy that I really am. And I didn't need anything to make me happy. So all of a sudden, that just went away by itself. It just went away. Uh, because I spent my life acting, and I love acting. Acting is creative. You're in the moment. You're expressing self. Self is love. If you're coming from a point of view of I want you to like me, that ain't love. If I love what I'm doing, that's love. And like for today, for instance, I read to three classes of children, pre-K, first grade and second grade, and we had more fun than you can imagine. It was bliss doesn't even begin to cover it. It was, but and because we were thoroughly in the moment, and we were and just enjoying and enjoying and enjoying, and it was all coming from love. And when I left the school and I was walking toward the car, it hit me. I said, I don't think that could go. I don't see how that could gone any better. I mean, the kids were full of glee and happiness and in the moment, and me too. We were one, all three classes. It didn't matter. The teachers really appreciated it, and they were getting caught up in it too. And this has been going on for over 20 years that I've been doing this. I have a thing called we do this thing called Croon in the Afternoon, which is open mic cabaret, where we go and we sing, and or sometimes I do some stand-up comedy, but again, it's stuff that I really enjoy. Joy, peace, bliss, love is all the same. There's no separation there. It's all one. So as long as I'm doing what I enjoy, I'm coming from a place of love. I'm coming from a place of giving. It's all contributing, and realizing that everything here is happening for us and not to us. So if I'm coming from a place of want, that's lack, that's suffering. But if I'm coming from a place of joy and giving, hello, that's real. And those lessons got driven home. And I realized that where it came from originally, and releasing just expanded it for me so I could do it consciously. But it happened when I was a child, when I was in a home where unconditional love was taken for granted. It wasn't anything that we had to do to please mommy, like me, please daddy. Unconditional love was the norm. And I grew up in that atmosphere. And now when I look back at it when I was a grown up, I go, holy mackerel, how did that happen? Well, I don't know how it happened, but I'm glad it happened to me. And somebody was talking earlier about traffic, about driving traffic. When I get into a situation where there's huge amount of traffic, and LA is huge amount of traffic, I say to myself, how did I make this happen? Take responsibility for it right away. And as soon as I do that, then I start saying to all the cars around me, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. All of a sudden, the lane opens up and I'm driving free. It's and it comes from a place of being now, of taking responsibility, of coming from love, and everything works out perfectly. You want to talk about enjoyment? Hello. Thank you. I think
There we
Rico's
go. And I couldn't get the mic. And okay. So yeah. So thank you, Rafi, for that. And that's a great. I love your experiences, especially when you're working with children, because they're so open, and I'm sure that just opens your heart. It's wonderful. Rico, please go ahead, and then Brooklyn.
Yeah, two quick unrelated things. One, I'm let you laugh. I was laughing at myself this morning. I'll tell you that second. That first, Rafa reminded me of something that one of my favorite songs years ago was a song by Seal, and it's called "How Do I Get Back to Where I Came From?" And that song has come alive for me since I met you guys because I'm getting back there. I'm getting back there, and I really love that. So thank you for that reminder. And it's one of my favorite songs. Deb reminded me, my darling Deb. Deb reminded me of something that happened this morning. This morning I had to go for my CAT scan. And Lynn and Brooklyn and Karen, you guys been with me since the diagnosis, since the surgery, and all that. So you could appreciate it. So I'm in the surgery. I'm in the imaging place. I'm waiting. I'm filling out these papers, and I'm starting to get a little nervous. And I'm filling out the papers, and then all of a sudden, I break out laughing. And the lady says, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah," but I was that uncontrollable laughter. And what happened was, my mind said to me, "What if the cancer returns? What if it grew back? What is this?" And the next thought, and I don't know if it was from my mind, I think it was from my spirit, it said, "Hey, Rico, you hanging out with these people, trying to learn all this stuff, and you chasing the truth? The CAT scan's only going to take a picture of what is. It's not going to take a picture of what is not. If you're tracing truth, what if it is there? You're supposed to be a man seeking truth." And I just started laughing my ass off. I couldn't believe it. So I just wanted to tell you that it was crazy. Right after that fear thought, this thought came in. So something's working with me. Thanks.
That's beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Rico. I love that, and God bless you with that as well. Uh, uh, my daughter, I kind of keep a little prayer circle, and my daughter had called me today and asked me to ask y'all to pray for her some in-law family member anyway, whose mother has cancer and is not doing well. And I just see all these things just happening in the most perfect way. And I just, I look at her and see just the Christ mind moving through us all. And I'm not worried. I think that's the main thing. When someone tells you they've got a problem, either you're going to get into, oh, I think this should happen or that should happen, and that whole idea that he had about outcomes, or you can just say, whatever it is, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna worry. I'm just gonna know that all things work together for us. And so I'm just really, really grateful. Thank you for bringing that up, Rico, because I see that with you as well. Just straight, you're here. You ain't getting out of here with well, none of us are getting out of here alive. So it's so we might as well stick it out together and have a good time here. Brooklyn, please go ahead. And I see Rafi has his hand up again. So go ahead, Brooklyn.
I love us so much. Oh my God. Yeah, let all things be exactly as it is. It's all about trust. And, when things seem to go wrong, the only problem is thinking there is a problem. And, like I brought up the subject about yelling and blah, 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 blah. All things are lessons God would have me learn. We made up. You know, um, sometimes, the road's rocky, and sometimes, yeah. But I'm so grateful for us. Yeah, and follow your joy, follow joy.
Right.
And my joy is here with you guys. Thank you.
I love you.
I love
Rafi, please go ahead.
When I'm on my way to somewhere, like reading for the kids, or even going to the store, or anywhere, on my way, I say, beingness, beingness, beingness. Let this turn out. Let this be filled with love, harmony, peace, the harmony and the grace that we really are. And if there's a situation that needs to be handled, I say, allow this to go smoothly and easily and efficiently and satisfactorily. Thank you. And then I let go of attachment to the outcome. Every time it goes, it's exactly what happens. It's exactly what happens. And if it's effortless, if it's easy, that's our infinite beingness. If it's difficulty, then it's ego. It's so easy to tell the difference.
Yeah, and it's all easy. That's the thing. It's all easy. The only thing that makes it hard is my resistance. Karen, please go ahead.
Thank you all so much. I mean, really beautiful, beautiful sharing and so helpful. Um, the one thing I wanted to comment on was what Nanette said about forgiveness. And I love that what she said, forgiveness is no longer needed once we're able to, just be in the present moment. And Lynn kind of joined with that idea when she was saying about paying attention, be in this moment, in this experience now, don't worry about being concerned about anything, but right here, right now. And I just wanted to share what the Song of Prayer says, because that's what came to my mind when Nanette shared. The Song of Prayer says that unlike the timeless nature of prayer, forgiveness has an end, for it becomes unneeded when the rising up is done. So what's interesting is, so forgiveness has an end. Once we get to the top of the ladder, so to speak, and our mind is healed and we are home with God, but however, prayer never ends, because prayer is our constant communion with God. So we're always wanting and needing that communion with God so we can remember our true nature and the truth of who we are and what we are, which is what we're talking about. So I just wanted to mention what the Course says, that yes, forgiveness has an end, but prayer never ends. Thanks.
Right. And prayer, we're always praying. We're always praying. There's not a moment that we're not praying. And you may not recognize it, but look at your life and look at your thinking, and you'll see it. I'm praying for this to happen, that to happen, this not to happen, this not to happen. any stories or dreams that we have. But in reality, that prayer that we're doing is a constant communion with God and a constant communion with each other. And we're only experiencing one side of that communication for the most part. You know, we do experience the Holy Spirit side of the communication when we, you know, can listen and be in joy. But if we're the only ones who are speaking, then we're not going to hear the answers. I don't know if that made any sense. Rico, yes, please go ahead.
Just a quick draw, McGraw. I tell my sister Karen, my apologies this morning. I missed the group this morning because I had to get a CAT scan. So somebody's going to send me the link so I can still watch it. But I still love you, Karen. Don't worry. Have no fear.
Rico, you're so funny and cute. Yeah, I love what Lynn just said because you know, the course and the Bible both say we're praying ceaselessly. I think is it ceaseless? Is that the word that they use? Ceaselessly? No, yeah.
Unceasingly.
Thank you. I know I was close because we're always communing with God when we're in our right mind, and that's the most important thing of all. So that just came to me. Thank you so much, everybody. This was wonderful.
Thanks, you guys. Thank you all so much. I'm so grateful for you. And we'll see you all in the morning. Love you all. And
Mwah.
Thanks for stopping by, Nanette. I love you.
yeah,
Love
really,
you
please
too.
come back.
I lit up like a Christmas tree when I saw you. Thank you.
Same
You're
here.
welcome.
Blessings.
Blessing, big hugs, everybody.
Bye,
Hugs.
y'all. Love y'all.
Love you.